G'day everyone, Marc here from Marc and Cars. Welcome back to the channel. A couple of weeks ago I had the opportunity to sit down and film what could very well be Australia's finest 911. Let's have a talk to the owner. Let me know what you guys think. Before we start today's video, I'd just like to share with you Rec Watches. They've recently partnered with the channel and make beautiful timepieces. I'm wearing the 901 at the moment. It is made from recycled parts from a salvaged 911. It is beautifully designed and suitable for all occasions. Day to day, evening out, that sort of thing. Each watch is unique. The face has its own patina from that part of the car. So if you are any sort of car enthusiast and you want to wear that proudly, please think about checking out Rec Watches. Onto the video. Today I've got a pretty special episode here for you to enjoy. We're going to be talking about the 911 I've got here just beside me, and I'm lucky enough to have the owner of the car, John Webb, to take us through the experience of the car and a bit of history of the car itself. So welcome to the channel, John.
Great to be here.
Some of you might remember from an older video of mine, we went through John's collection, and I'll put a link above there and in the comments below for you to have a look at after this video. So, John, what do we got here?
Well, this was a missing car in the collection. We did speak about there was one getting restored, and this is it. And it's been 4 years since I purchased this car, and it didn't look like this. It was what you'd call a toilet find. I found it actually on top of a workshop toilet in New Zealand, and packaged it all up, all the components that I could find. A lot of them had been sold and scavenged over the years, but there was enough there to see the potential to come through with what we've got now. That it's been, give or take, a couple of hundred hours. It's around 2,000 hours worth of work that's gone into this car between myself and the guy that did most of the work. Paul Irvine did a brilliant job with this car.
Fantastic. As the viewers can see from the pictures that you would have seen so far in the video, it's a long hood car.
Yeah, 1969.
69, and it's a 911T?
Yeah, 911T. It's obviously original right-hand drive. It's the original paint colour, original as much as original as possible.
Tell me, is the engine is a 2.2 litre, I believe?
Yeah, 2.2 carburetted engine. But the 69 was quite a unique year. It was one of the change points from the short wheelbase to the long wheelbase.
Yes. And
a lot of the components were particular just for this year.
And there's clearly been a lot of effort gone into, as you mentioned, going back to as original as possible. Is the engine and gearbox still the original engine and gearbox in the car?
Yeah, most certainly. It's a total matching car from front to back.
Wow, okay, fantastic. For a car that age, it's pretty impressive.
Yeah, exactly, and it's quite unique having the 14-inch wheels. Most of the Fuchs are 15s, 16s. So
the millionth Porsche, I believe, was painted this colour?
Yeah, they chose well.
They did, or you did?
No, it's just luckily it was this colour. And it is a beautiful colour. Greens generally go with British cars.
Yes.
But this particular one suits this German car quite well.
It was definitely a colour favourite of the Porsche family. If you look through the archive photographs on the museum or on the website, you can see a lot of this colour car. The underside of the car, a lot of attention to detail has gone there for pretty much, besides you, me and the viewers that are going to enjoy this, not a lot of other people are going to get to appreciate how much energy you've put in under there.
Yeah, most certainly. It's the car underneath is as good a looking as it is on the top.
I can't imagine anyone who bought a 911T back in the day, if they ever put it up on the hoist, it ever looked as good as what that car does underneath. The interior is a pretty unique colour. Like traditionally the interiors of cars of this age tend to be a bit more of a lighter colour leather than what this one is, but it's a beautiful colour, and the actual texture of the leather in there, or
it's actually not leather, it's
leatherette,
leatherette or velour. It's we could have upgraded it to leather at a minimal cost, but it's of the day. We wanted to go, as I said before, want to go back exactly the way it was,
yes.
Right down to the windshields and windows are the total original. They all had to be polished.
Sure.
Hideous amount of time in polishing them.
Would you say that the experience and the outcome has met your expectations?
Most certainly. Going into it, I didn't think it was going to be as hard to get some of the componentry But you've just got to spend a lot of time, talk to a lot of people, and usually find someone that's got one under the bench somewhere.
Sure.
Because that's basically the only parts that are left is someone's left over, or they've got a car they've broken down. But no, very, very happy with it. It's a credit to Paul and his long hours that he did to get this car to the perfection it is. Fantastic. And I've enjoyed the work that I've done on it. And we'll keep it the way it is in mint condition.
The car to drive looks like it's hardly been used at all yet so far.
No.
Been around the block a few times, I imagine, for a bit of shakedown to make sure the wheel line's
Yeah, most certainly. It drives. It's amazing actually. It's very peppy for the 2.2. It gets up and going. It's by no means a heavy car either. But so far, I'm very happy with the way it drives.
Well, there's certainly a no shortage of fans for those early 2 litre and 2.2 motors. They were raced very prolifically, so the and they definitely drive differently to the older, the next motor size up when they went to 2.4 and 2.7. From my own experience of driving cars, so I they feel more revvy, they're more lively to drive.
Yeah, they are. They don't have a lot of torque. So you've got to rev them to actually get the horsepower and then multiply that and get the torque to the ground.
Yeah,
and
that's
a 5-speed, and obviously it's the 901 box with reverse and then into first,
the dog leg,
straight down.
Not great for traffic, but great out of the open road, the old dog leg first.
Oh, lovely. The speed devil in me, I like getting out once in a while for a spirited ride. I drive these totally restored cars with the
with kid gloves.
Yeah, basically, with the kid gloves, but spirited drives.
Yeah, good.
And don't cane them. I'm only the custodian. I want it to last, and someone else can have it in the future.
Well, it'll definitely be a very fortunate person that gets this one in the future. There's no doubt about that. I've relocated today to continue talking about John Webb's 911, which we spent a bit of time looking at a bit earlier in the video. And this is Paul, who was very heavily involved in the restoration and quite a bit of the history of the car prior to John owning it. So thanks for joining us today.
That's all right.
So tell us, where did John's car come from?
Originated out of Scotland, but a buddy of mine bought it on Trade Me in New Zealand many years ago.
Sure.
And it was a basket case. My buddy bought it probably early 2000s.
Yeah.
Then one day he rang me up and said, I need to sell it. And I'm like, oh, okay. Do you want to buy it? And I'm like, nah, not really. Anyway, more concerned about his financial well-being, I went, yeah, okay, I'll buy it off. My father had a garage in New Zealand, and there it sat on top of his toilet cubicle for, I don't know, maybe 8 years.
So, just so I'm clear, the car was on top of a toilet cubicle?
Yeah. Yeah, one day John approached me and I said, well, I've got it. I don't really want it. So we did a deal and he brought it to Perth.
With regards to you doing the restoration to the car, you used the term basket case earlier. You obviously do this for a living. What is that to you? Is that like everything from the door sills down is missing, or is it just had to go back to complete scratch?
It was a challenging restoration. At one point there was no sills in the car, no floor, no centre tunnel, half the A-posts and everything forward was gone.
Wow, okay.
The entire nose off it.
Would not have looked much like a car at that point, I imagine.
No, so I had to make up parts for the jig to support the roof structure and the cowl panel with the jig, so that was left in the right place, and we just reconstructed from the inner sills out, floor pan right through to the front, back to how it should have been.
Now, the car presents beautifully. I imagine you're quite pleased with the outcome?
Yeah, it's a good restoration, yeah.
Take my hat off to the underside of the car, it looks unbelievable.
Get a close-up of the heater valves.
I did hear the red ones. It's a lot
perfect to spec.
All right, it's great getting your perspective on that restoration, so I really appreciate your time today. Thanks for that.
Oh, good. Thank you.
Appreciate you spending the time with me today to share the car with myself and the viewers, and look forward to catching up again sometime in the future, and mate, possibly have a look at a couple of the other cars you've got in the garage a bit closer. If you do watch John's other video, if there's any particular model car that he has that you'd like a bit more detail on, or we'll have a closer look at, put it in the comments below, and we'll have a talk to Johnny and see if we can get a bit of time with it and take it for a spin and get an idea on what it's like to have cars like he has.
Marvellous.
Thanks, mate. So everybody, if you like this type of content, please let me know in the comments below. If you haven't already, think about subscribing to the channel, share the video with anyone you think might like it, and look forward to catching up with you next time. Thanks for watching. Marc and Cars.